Okay, so Jordan's just been checking in this implant that we're actually going to use tomorrow. So these are the instruments, right? And there's actually a couple here that are sort of already being done.
Yeah, so basically with the paperwork that the company's provided, we will inspect every instrument that you can see on these trays here. They have serial numbers and lot numbers just so they can be clearly identified, and essentially we will tag these trays just for clear identification, just so we know who they're being used on, who will be using them, and what date the operation will be taking. We will tag paperwork with special tags for our tracking system so that it may be identified later on, or to see who has handled it, to see when it's been, if and when it's been sterilized, and to ensure that it has passed all of our sterilization parameters. So essentially after it's gone from our original checks and everything, we will take it into be decontaminated into the washers, and then from then on it will be inspected again, wrapped and sterilized.
Alright, so here's the journey of our instruments. So these are the instruments that we're going to use tomorrow for our patient, have a hip replacement, and Dessa and Jordan will bring them through into the Sterilization Department. There you go. G'day team. See, this is the Sterilization Department. Yep. And these guys are the unsung heroes, you know, because without clean instruments, then the whole hospital stops. There's absolutely no operations that are done in this hospital if we can't achieve 100% sterility. So these guys are the engine room, right? These are the engine rooms. So, and the unsung heroes, because they're here doing a fair bit of work behind the scenes to be able to make all the action happening. So, all right, I'm going to catch up to these instruments. All right. So this is where our instruments are going now. Other part in the Sterilization Department. So, and Des is going to show us what we're going to do.
All the instruments need to go through a wash, a thorough wash, that'll reach at least 90 degrees, and also have chemicals that are rushing through it to make sure that these are all clean.
So tell us a little bit about this machine. Tell us a bit about it.
Just a washer, a sterile washer.
Yep. And what does it do?
It just wash the instrument here.
Yep. So it's like a big dishwasher.
Essentially it is a big dishwasher.
Yep.
I'm going to explain it to you. You're going to explain?
Awesome.
So
Yeah, we'll just push it through and then just going to close this one. So what is done is just have a pre-wash.
Yep.
And then a wash. And
Yep.
a rinse.
Yep.
And a drying cycle. Yeah, and that's it. It'll go to the outside, and the other side, afterwards.
Okay. And so how long will this run for?
This will run about 45 minutes.
45 minutes?
Yeah.
Yep. And this is just an initial cleaning process, isn't it? This is not formal sterilisation yet. No. Okay. Okay. This is the other part of the sterilisation department that we haven't seen thus far. So
We go to the other side of the machine.
So big department. This is there's a very, very big department. A lot of people work here. Yeah. You're gonna be famous. Yeah, famous. All right.
These are the instruments used today.
Yep.
That are being washed, and they've come through the washer all almost dry.
Yep.
So now they'll end up going into this dryer
Yep.
for an hour, and then they'll get done up. And these instruments are just coming out of
There we go. I recognise these instruments. Some lucky person's had these instruments today.
That's right.
Yep, absolutely.
And then from here, they'll end up on this table over here. Then someone will check them in. Once they're all checked in, they'll come back to me and I'll go through them again.
So Linda, take me through what you're up to.
We're just going to take checklists where we check that the correct amount of instruments are in the trays, the correct sizes, the correct types, and we also look over that they're cleaned as well to make sure the cleaning process has happened, and putting the tags that are, once they're sterilised, they've turned black so that the theatre nurses can see that they've been through the sterilisation process. So at the moment they're just cleaned, but they will be going through the steam steriliser after they're wrapped.
And what's the sheet that you've got there?
So this is our checklist that we check that all the instruments come back to Cssd, and also the nurses will check this in the theatre when they're checking off and counting instruments.
And so why is that sheet important?
Just to make sure that we get the right instruments back, that we've got the right instruments to start the case as well, those kinds of things. This is a tracking list that we use, where we check our instruments, but also we can track our instruments against the patient. So this number will get linked up with the patient that it's used on.
All right, so Des is going to show us some brooches that we've used for a hip replacement today, huh?
That's right.
Yep.
Just to make sure that it's the correct tray, I've got the name of the tray up here. Biomed General Hip Taper Lock Micro Brooch and Neck. Tray 4 Set 2. And on here it has the same name.
Yep.
So we make sure that it's exactly the same paperwork for the same tray. And now what I'll do is to make sure that all the instruments are there. I'll go one by one. I'll do the next first.
So what Des is doing at the moment is she's inspecting the brooches for cleanliness, but also their serviceability and the completeness of the set. So these instruments that we used today, and they're going to be prepared again and used again tomorrow. Yep.
In the dirty area.
So what have you found? Show me what you found.
I'm not sure. I don't think I found anything, but I think there might have been like something in here, but just to double check.
Wow, your eyes are better than mine, Desso. Dessa, your eyes are better than mine. That's sharpshooter. Hey, clean it again. If in doubt, clean it again.
This is all plastic. It's all inside. When it goes into the steriliser, it shrinks and creates through a cover for the instruments, and they're sterile. And they wait for the surgeon to use them and then come back again through the whole process. To wrap something, you need to put something underneath. This also protects and helps prevent any holes happening. To double check everything and to make sure that everything's sterile, we put in one of these indicators. At the moment it's yellow, and once it goes through the sterilisation, this yellow line turns black. It's like wrapping a present.
Pretty good wrapping presents. Hey.
Now we tape it down. You can see this tape, it has a green line, and again once it goes through the sterilising process, it turns black.
So that's now cleaned and wrapped. Cleaned, dried and wrapped and ready for sterilisation.
So not quite sterile yet, but give me this space. Yeah, I can do it.
So tell me what are you scanning here, and what's the value of scanning?
This is the sterilizer that we have to sterilize the
Yep.
instrument. It's just a practice of the standard that we have before.
Yep.
It's been done, sterilized.
Yep.
And it's only all about the coding, yeah.
Yep. So you're able to track. So the scanning process is so that you can track all of the instruments throughout their whole journey.
That's correct.
From the start to the finish, so we can identify the quality of the sterilisation and if there was a problem.
Correct.
Yeah.
Close the door.
So tell me what this machine is and how it works.
This is the final stage of the end of the instrument to be sterilized.
Yep.
Before it goes to the theater and used to test.
And how does it work?
We have a steam sterilization, and it has its own temperature and pressure and time. And the temperature is 134 to kill all the whatever microorganism that is in there. And also there's a PPA to the holding time, how long it stays there.
So what I'd like to know is how do you know 100% that it's definitely sterile?
Okay, we have a lot of just to make us happy and also be sure also that we have the PCD and the instruments. They change. That's one thing, and then we have another type
Indicator?
that change color.
Yep.
It has to be
Yep.
black.
So these ones are sterilised because
Yes,
the
that
indicator
one's
has
sterilised.
turned. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
All of that, and also we have to check also the parameters. We have 134.
So that's a read. That's a readout of the sterilizer.
Parameters,
Yeah.
sterilizer. Yeah. There is 134, and then there's a 10 minutes holding time, and then there's another 4 minutes to be sure that it's really ready, and that's the standard that we have to go through.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. So multiple layers of safety there,
Yes.
isn't there? We've
Yes.
got multiple indicators and multiple things that we're tracking.
Correct. Yes.
So these are all the trays that have been sterilised. You can see that they're all wrapped up, and so they're all wrapped up in their sterile containers there, and we opened them up at the time of the surgery. Maggie, she's the scout nurse today, and this is Pat. He's the lead instrument nurse today. Maggie and Pat are going to show us about instrumentation and opening it up, and how we know that it's sterile or not. So as you can see, there's a whole lot of instrumentation here for this case, and every single little piece of this has to be 100% squeaky clean. And so here's a tray which includes some of the instruments that we're going to use today, and Pat's going to take us through what he does to be able to ensure that this is 100% sterile. So off you go, Pat.
Righto. So before we open the tray, we're looking at these bits of tape that are sealing close the tray, and they are sterilisation indicators. They change from yellow to black, so we know that it's been sterilised, it's been through the sterilisation process. We're also looking for any breaks in sterility, any holes that might be in the tray before we open it. and Maggie's going to open it in a sterile fashion. One of the first things I'm looking for in the tray is this sterilisation indicator, which is the same as the tape on the outside. This is yellow before it's sterilised, and now it's turned to black, showing us that it's been sterilised. I'm picking up the tray, and then again, Maggie and I are looking for any breaks in sterility, any holes. If there was any holes, we put the tray down, change our gloves, and get another tray. This one's alright. Put it down where we're going to use it.
Yeah.